Okay, the next thing we're going to look at is the jump pad. Based on kind of like where the direction we've been heading so far, we've gone from a just a very simple addition when we went with the sprint. We looked at adding a little bit more functionality through the jumps, and then quite a bit on the crouch. The next one being the jump pad, this is actually going to be not just the character himself, but it's going to be another object interacting with him. That's going to be included by having this. We'll also be including a trigger event. That way we know that the player has actually touched an object, and then the object is going to say that I'm a jump pad, and let's make sure that we actually force the character's height to go up in the velocity to move upwards. Alright, so based on that, let's go ahead and start off with the jump pad. And actually, let's go ahead and start off inside of Unity. In the scene, I'm just going to go to my hierarchy tab and drop a cube inside it. And we'll just move the cube up in front right here. Alright. So the cube itself, we know that we want to have a tag when the object is collided with and the trigger event happens with the player. So if you go over to the tag, you'll notice from the drop down, if you left click, you'll see that one of the options inside of here has already been defined called jump pad, and you can click on it. Remember, if you want to add new tags, you just go down to add tag, and then the tag options are here. If they're rolled up, just be sure that you roll them back out, and you can add to it here. We already have ours identified, so we'll just use the word jump pad. Alright, so in order to make this actually active, let's be sure that we set this to isTrigger. We're not looking for a collidable object, we're just looking for it to be a trigger object. So we're going to say isTrigger. Alright, if you go over into your scripts, go down to the one that is the function on trigger enter. So we actually just want to have it so that when the player touches this, something happens. So on our on trigger enter, what we want to do is basically just look for the tag name. That way, if the player runs across the tag name jump pad, something's going to happen. So we'll say that if, and we'll just do a quick check, other. Remember, on the on trigger, if you remember from before, the on trigger, we're just calling, it's going to be any variable name. We're just going to call ours other. So if other dot tag, so the tag of this game object, if the tag of the game object is equal to jump pad, which jump pad, so if it's actually equal to the jump pad word, then do something. Well, getting started with, just like a lot of times what we've done before, is let's just do a print statement. We'll say jump pad reached. Alright. And make sure this is turned off on the debug mode. So if we move our player into the box, the moment he touches the box, jump pad reach. So we know right up front that our trigger works. We don't have to worry about if it works or doesn't work while we're working on the code. We've already tested it, so it does work. So let's go ahead and make something happen with it. We could put in here. We could actually put in the entire structure for the jump pad, or we can make a true/false statement, and inside of the function call of the jump pad is where we actually store it. Okay, so if the tag is actually equal to jump pad, let's go ahead and just set some things in here. We can set a let's say we want to do jumping from pad. Let's see if we have some type of jumping option. Jumpable object, no. And we have jump delay and repeat. And it looks like we're going to have to look for one here. We might have to make one if we don't see it. And let's see if we can find this one. Make sure it's here. And let's see, can jump from pad. It's going to be one. There we go. So we do have a jumping from pad option. So if other tag is equal to jump pad, then let's make sure that our jumping from pad is going to be equal to true. While we're here, let's go ahead and just double. This is going to be something that it's going to just kind of come up as you start the program. You may notice things that stay active, and you want to make sure you turn certain elements off. One of those is going to be, for instance, the jumping options. Let's go ahead and turn off all of our jumping. So is jumping underscore 1, 2, and 3. So we'll just turn these off. Alright. And then let's go ahead and print a message down here. And we just want to go ahead and say that the jump pad activated. Alright. So if the jumping from pad is set to true now, let's go ahead and go up to our jump pad option up here. And we'll go ahead and do a quick check on the jump pad. So we'll say if can jump from pad. And it probably should be just can see if it's this one or not. Yeah, can jump from pad. You could probably just make it can jump pad. We'll say if can jump from pad. We want to double check that our jumping from pad is actually set to true. If it is set to true, then let's go ahead and reset the jumping from pad is going to equal false. And then we'll go ahead and set our animation crossfade. And the animation for it, the animation that we could actually set for this could be specific to it, but I think the only one that I have working for this one is, I believe it's the animation jump fall. So, ANI jump fall. Alright, so we'll use the animation jump fall one for it. And what this is going to do is just when the player goes into his jump state going up, it's going to just do a little fall motion, so his arms will be out just a little bit when he's in the air. Let's go ahead and set our current jump height to the jump from crouch. And the jump from crouch height, this could actually be, let's see if we actually have one defined here. No. You could just set, it looks like we don't have one set for it right here, but it could be a jump from jump pad height. We'll go ahead and just do the from crouch on this one though. So we have our in-air velocity, just like we've done before. It's going to equal our current jump height. And then we'll just print a message at the bottom of it here. And we'll just say that the animation state is going to be jump from pad. Alright. So if we have those, let's double check here. So if I move into the box, notice it actually takes me and throws me up into the air. Alright. So based on my player's forward movement, if I'm moving left and right, if I'm moving this way, I get propelled to the other side. If I go this way, if I'm moving really slow, he won't jump as far forward. So we have our basic jump from a jump pad right there. Alright. Now, with that said, if we have those set into place, something that might come up is going to be the actual jump pad piece, the element that we have here. Actually, we'll keep it as this one, but the actual prefab, let's see where it's at. Prefab scene pickups. I think it'll be, nope, not that one. The switch jump pad, here we go. This is actually what the player would use in the game side. it would actually be this little piece that has a animation assigned to it, so the jump piece would be pushing upward, making it look like it's throwing him up into the air. Alright. But in terms of functionality, what the character has currently works. Let's just add a couple more pieces, though, to it. Alright, so if we go back into the code, on the on-trigger enter, we currently have it so that when the player is on the trigger, it's activating the right things, it's setting him to the right spot. But let's actually call up. Here, we'll go ahead and just drop this in so we can see it working. This one. So let's say, for instance, I want to actually work with the actual piece here. There we go. All right. So the object right here, switch jump pad. It's going to have a base and it has a top. The top option right here, notice it's set to the jump pad for the tag name. It also has a animation, and the animation is jump pad up. So if we just push Control 6, or we go to the window option and go inside of here, we'll notice that we have an animation file available. If I play the animation, you'll see it just moves the piece up and goes back down. Alright, so that piece, based on how many seconds was available right there, actually it was, let's see, all the way to here, which gives us 10 frames over. Alright, what we want to do is make sure that we set it up so that so that we can actually play this. So when the trigger event happens, we'll go ahead and just play the animation of that piece. So let's go ahead and just go down here. Inside of the jump pad, so inside of the collider option, right below the message, let's just say that if other animation is not equal to null, so we'll do a quick check just to be sure. If there is actually an animation file available, then we're going to say, let's play the others animation. And we'll just do a regular play animation option here. And our animation is called jump pad underscore up. So we'll just say jump pad underscore up. Alright. And then the other option for it, let's see, we have a jump pad up and a jump pad down. So with the one that goes up, we'll play it up, and then the 10 frames over is pretty close to like a 0.3. So we'll just say yield, and this is just going to be a wait for seconds. So we'll wait for a few seconds. We'll wait for the 0.3 seconds. And then we'll go ahead and just play the other animation, and we'll play the down one. So jump pad underscore down. There we go. So this allows us to this will allow us to have our animation playing on this object right here. So it's a little bit specific to this piece. If you're trying to keep it open-ended, it does have a check for this. You could just have a you could take this whole thing out and just simply have an object and not worry about playing an animation. But for this object, since it does have one, we'll go ahead and use this to play it. Alright, so we have the trigger enter. If you go down to the on trigger exit, alright, so on the on trigger exit, this is when the player is actually jumping off of the object. Let's go ahead and do one quick thing just to make sure that the pad actually stays false when we actually leave the pad. We'll go ahead and do a other tag, and we'll make sure that it's equal to the jump pad. And if the player leaves the tag called jump pad, then let's go ahead and just set the jumping from pad option equal to false. So this is just kind of a little double check on it, just to make sure that it is set to false when the player does leave this object. Alright, so if you save and then double check, looks like we might have an issue here or there with this. We'll make sure that we've got This one set to is equal to. Should take those away. There we go. Alright, let's set the switch, the jump pad. I'm going to actually set this in the ground so that he can get closer to just walking on top of it. Alright, so if I go over here and I jump, so if you notice, it plays the animation, lowers it back down, and then each time I walk on it, it actually pushes me up into the air. There we go. Pretty cool. Alright, so we have a jump pad. We got a little animation that plays with the jump pad, and everything is set inside of our on-trigger enter, exit, and our function call for the actual jump pad right through here. We'll take a few minutes and comment things in, and then once we get done with that, we'll be finished with the jump pad. Right now we've got these commented in. You may want to just kind of pause and then just be sure you got the comments set into place for the jump pad, and then double check on the on trigger enter and exit.